All right, Ken Zalis is in studio with us today on a Thursday edition of the program. So let's do this. Griffin is apparently a PFF subscriber, so he's got the PFF version up on the screen. I can't really see it, but whatever.
All right,
I'll figure it out. I'll figure it out. I'm not too worried about it. We're doing our mock draft. So Griffin will have the first pick. Ken will have the second pick. I'll have the third pick, and then we repeat from there. We continue going in a cycle. No trades. I get it. I understand.
It is what it is.
We can't be here all day. Pereira's joining us later this hour. So no trades. We're just making picks, and only the first round. And then maybe if we have time at the end, we'll do a Ravens thing. Sure. All right? Trying to make picks. This is what we would do. We can have commentary about it, but we're going to try to keep it moving. So Griffin, with that on. We didn't do sound effects. We should have done. The Tennessee Titans are on the board.
All right, Tennessee Titans. Hold on, let me make sure I select all the teams here. All right, Tennessee Titans are on the clock. I don't know. I mean, just got Travis Hunter, pretty generational talent. You know, it's I think it's
what
be
just
tough.
said about like we got to be moving. I
gotta explain the pick here. I think the Titans. They're keeping their pick. Got a pretty big hole at quarterback.
Jesus Christ, take a pick.
I think I'm gonna go ahead and take. I guess I gotta specifically pick quarterback here. I'll take Cam Ward.
Cam Ward, the
overall.
number one pick in the draft. KZ has said he's more Shador than Cam Ward in this draft. I still think it would be absolutely bat-ass insane for either of the two teams at the top of this draft to not draft the two top quarterbacks. I cannot believe that we continue to entertain these things, but that's what we do. KZ, the Cleveland Browns are on the clock.
So, I was all ready to fire up this pick, and luckily for me, the Cleveland Browns, they re-signed their best player. Okay,
got Myles Garrett.
I thought Abdul Carter made a lot of sense here, but we're not putting that kind of financial
into one
position. And the guy I want, and I was prepared to take over Cam Ward, is sitting on the board. And, were we surprised that he has a little bit of attitude based on who his father was? Give me Sanders and let me energize my fan base.
You have said that you are more of a Shador Sanders person than a Cam Ward person.
I am 100%.
And for those that don't know, KZ loves Miami football.
I am a Miami guy. Cam Ward crumbles like a cookie in big moments. Sanders, to me, I don't get where anybody can turn on the film of this kid and pick apart his game. He's got everything, and he's got moxie. He's the kid I want. I would take him number one in this draft over every other single person besides Carter, quite frankly. But we're not putting that much into defensive line, defensive end. If we're the Browns.
So
which has put you in a bad spot, Mr. New York Giants.
Very bad. Well, the Giants, this will be no problem because the night before the draft, Aaron Rodgers will commit. He's playing.
Well, apparently got 8 teams offering trades. You want to go over each one?
Sure. No, I do not.
Raiders want to jump up.
Shut up. The best player on the board is still available at this point. I get that there's now an injury concern for Abdul Carter, but and really, if there's one area where the Giants actually have talent, it's at edge rush. But this is default to best players available, so you're going to take him. Abdul Carter becomes a New York Giant.
I mean, and then this just completely Abdul Carter to the Giants. This completely falls perfectly for the Patriots. Right. Unfortunately, because again, I love watching Travis Hunter. I'm taking Travis Hunter at 4 if I'm the Patriots. I think
this is the first time I think I think they have to take an offensive tackle.
You think they have to take it? So Will Campbell at 4 is what you would do?
If I were the Patriots.
I'm the Patriots, and I'm taking Travis
I did think
Hunter.
about doing a thing where we all get one
like override?
Or one veto for the first round.
This would take forever.
But yeah, I can't do it. So you're giving them
Travis Hunter goes 4th overall. Ward, Sanders, Carter, Hunter, the top 4.
Well, this makes this very, very easy for you guys. Are just like handing me easy picks here. Jacksonville is going to take Will Campbell and may take 10 seconds to run this up there.
I think it's nuts that the Patriots didn't.
You
take Will Campbell
you have got to protect your quarterback. and for whatever reason you decided that you're going to pay this dude and he's going to be your guy, we've got to do this. And one of the best offensive line prospects that we can remember in a little bit. So
when does Travis Hunter go on your book then,
Ken?
To me, he screams the Raiders at 6.
So, yeah, I'm going to tell you this. I don't think he gets out of the top 5 somehow.
It's because somebody's moving up.
Somebody.
Yeah.
I mean, and it wouldn't shock me that the Patriots do take him there. There's no, but he does scream Raiders. And the other thing he screams if he gets by the Raiders, he ain't getting past the Jets.
Okay. Yeah, I absolutely see that. At this point now, the Raiders are in a tough spot because I'm in. It's the eternal question: how much power does Pete Carroll have? Is Pete Carroll able to say, "Let's just do the sensible thing," or is he told, "Let's do something exciting"? Because if he's told, "Let's do something exciting," then Ashton Genty's the pick here. Mm-hmm. If he does the sensible thing, to me, Will Johnson is the pick. Will Johnson from Michigan, and so on behalf of Pete Carroll, Will Johnson is now a Las Vegas Raider.
Will Johnson there. The Jets. Let's see what we signed Justin Fields. Mm-hmm. They don't really have an offensive line.
Much of anything.
No. Well, yeah.
They do have one really good receiver. They've got a running back.
Which is why, since I'm the Jets and a teenager is running the team, Ted McMillan has some pretty cool highlights. And he's pretty good guy. He's the number 1 rated
Griffin
guy.
just wants success. I just realized Griffin's going to do a fantasy draft the entire time.
I mean, if you go, what's your highest tackle on the board right now, Ken?
Offensive tackle?
Yeah, offensive tackle.
I mean, you got the kid.
The
Texas
kid, or Banks or Simmons.
You got Banks or Membo probably.
Yeah. Make a pick.
Ted McMillan is going to New York because they just lost Devontae Adams. All right, they need another receiver to pair with Garrett Wilson. Even though I don't know if their quarterback's gonna be upright long enough to get it to him. Ted McMillan to the New York Jets.
And the Panthers run again to the board and take Mason Graham, defensive tackle. Their defense stinks. You take the best defensive play. I don't care what position is on the board. If you're the Carolina Panthers, you are taking the best defensive player. Mason Graham is a Carolina Panther.
I would say this has not worked out well for the New Orleans Saints. That the Saints, the one thing they've had is they've had very few other things, is they've still had a pretty strong offensive line. If I'm the Saints, I'm very tempted by Tyler Warren here. Like, extraordinarily tempted to be the team that makes that move, to go get Tyler Warren, to give yourself an explosive playmaker. And as exciting as Taysom Hill is, because he does lots of stuff, he ain't Tyler Warren.
Taysom Hill could probably dunk a basketball.
I'm doing it. Tyler Warren is the pick for the New Orleans Saints at number 9.
Tyler Warren to the Saints. Man,
dude, I don't care what you say. That guy's a freak. He is a freak. I have no idea why you wouldn't be racing to take Tyler Warren here.
Trying to say the best D-line is left. I think if I'm the Bears, let's see. We traded for, what O-lineman did we trade for? We traded for Tooney? Is that who?
Oh, yeah, that is correct.
Is that who the Bears traded for?
Yes, they did trade for Joe Tooney.
I mean, again, you can still always use more O-line. The Mizzou kid is right there. I think if Warren was there, I think I was gonna take him.
Oh, that was part of the 100%. I assume the Bears have been play for Tyler Warren.
And I think Ben Johnson's a smart guy, so I don't think I don't think I think he knows that they're not Ashton Genty away. Because that's a tough. I'll go the Missouri kid, Armand Membu. Is that it? Membu? That's how you say it. We'll go.
Why would you ask Ken?
We'll go. Because I want to hear.
Membu.
If he knew what it was, he would still get it wrong.
Probably.
Membu at 10 to the Chicago Bears.
I guess we should have had. This is like, what would you have done with these last couple of the picks that you aren't making? What would you have done?
See, now I have to go back.
Here,
what would you have done at 9 with the Saints?
So it certainly wouldn't have been a tight end. If you're
The problem is they're not anything away.
well, they're not. But I get it. I just you're right about one thing. They're in a terrible spot there.
Correct.
But tight end, whatever you want to believe in it, I probably would have gone offensive line if I was there. Because
but that's the one thing they've actually done.
Well, but the better your offensive line is, the better your entire offense is going to be. I can get a tight end later in the draft that is still a move tight end. It's not a Warren, granted.
Tyler Warren's a freak.
He is. But the Banks kid may have been tough to pass up there. I probably would have gone Banks, maybe Williams at the end, but I could do this all day.
That's the problem.
I know.
You got to give a quick analysis of what you would have done.
What,
and what would you have done if you were the Bears?
We're good.
I like what the Bears did. Like, you got to go offensive line. You got to protect your investment there. So I'm up with San Francisco. Now, do we want to be? How tricky do we want to be? Best player on the board is Gentry.
Well, Genty.
Yes. Gentry.
Craig Gentry.
Yeah. Oh, Orioles legend.
But we're hoping, we're praying.
McCaffrey's
coming back. We got this kid, Gallardo.
Guerrendo.
See, we're just getting
Giovanni Gallardo.
He looked pretty good. He
He did.
So we're not going to do that, and our offensive line is getting old. Trent Williams, I believe, is on the wrong side of 35. I believe, building in the interior, and I'm going to go Kelvin Banks, offensive lineman from Texas.
So you think he's he's a guard, not a tackle?
I think he could do either.
Okay.
I think he could do either.
What did he play in Texas?
And we can do the same thing that we've done with many linemen. If Trent Williams is healthy and ready to go, we kick him in the guard for a year, and then you have your heir apparent on the board.
So that brings us to the obvious.
I mean, could this have fallen?
The Dallas Cowboys with the 12th pick. The only point I'll make is they didn't have a running back last year, and they didn't feel like they needed to get one. They just trying to get into the brain of Jerry Jones makes no sense whatsoever. But team that badly, desperately, who do they go out and get? They got Miles Sanders and Javonte Williams this offseason. That's how they think they're going to address the running back position.
They got Miles Sanders.
The answer is Ashton Genty. That's who's going to the Dallas Cowboys.
After signing both those guys?
Yeah. This is a pretty obvious one to me with number 12.
All right, good job. And what do we have Jerry on the line to react to the pick? Or
no.
Can you imagine Dallas if this went like that and he passed?
But again, they didn't address running back last year.
But can you just imagine?
That city.
Like,
Jesus
they're already
Christ,
up in arms.
They have Ashton Genty on the board, and they end up going with like a Tyler Booker from Alabama.
Something crazy.
Christ.
I mean, so we got the Dolphins up.
Yes.
And I guess obviously the Dolphins need offensive line as well. Do they have any offensive linemen at the moment?
I'm sure they have some. Trying to think of who's on there.
I guess that would leave Simmons, and I don't know if you're reaching at that point at 13.
Right now, from left to right, they still have Teron Armstead, Liam Eichenberg, Aaron Brewer. I don't know who James Daniels is, who's the right guard, and Austin Jackson.
I'm trying to figure out what the best defensive guy available is right now. I guess would Malachi Starks be the best available guy? I don't think they want to go. I don't think I want to go safety if I'm. Who's your best available edge right now, Ken?
I got the Williams kid out of Georgia.
Okay, I think that's where I'm leaning as well. Michael Williams.
All right.
Opposed to we'll go Michael Williams out of Georgia for the Miami Dolphins. Don't love the offensive lineman at that spot. So
your quick reaction to the last two picks, Ken?
Love them both.
Okay, very good.
I'm A-okay with it. Which brings us to the Indianapolis
14.
Got 5 positions of need on PFF.
Well, they need a lot. One of them may
be a quarterback.
One of them may be a quarterback, but Daniel Jones. Never mind. You gotta build and you gotta protect this kid. The best player on my board happens to be an offensive lineman. How funny how that works out. And we get, depending on what you feel about some of the other offensive tackles that were taken in this draft, whether they're true offensive tackles or not, the best interior is Tyler Booker from Alabama. And whether it's protecting for Richardson or protecting for Daniel Jones, we got to protect our quarterback that we invested in. Mm-hmm. And I think that's a pretty safe and pretty easy selection there. Some consideration, I think if Warren lasts to Indianapolis, I think he's in heavy consideration here. To give your quarterback a guy like that helps everybody, but he's not on the board, and we'll go in that direction.
The Atlanta Falcons.
Tyler Booker, Ken.
Yeah, he went Tyler Booker. The Atlanta Falcons at 15. I don't think this draft has worked out in their favor. I think now, do you try to take the upside of Shamar Stewart, who it's one of the most polarizing figures in this entire draft?
I'm not.
Where athletic freak, but is he really a productive player?
Somebody find the play he made on tape.
I understand.
And send it to me.
I understand.
And say, here it is, and I'm with you. But, again, he's the same. He's Owe. Mm-hmm. Now, that's worked out, I guess.
I think he's a more freakish version of Owe. A more...
He didn't test any differently than... Like, his when you're saying, is he more athletic than Owe... By all measurements that they go by, no, he's the same guy.
Isn't he a little bit bigger? Isn't he a little bit?
I mean, what are we talking about?
I understand.
I'm just saying. Owe has become a very solid dare I say, very good football player.
Yes.
It's taken 3 years.
It has, 100%.
Can we afford that?
There's another freak that's here that I'm interested in.
Yes, I know.
That
don't.
Unfortunately, I think a lot of other people would be interested in. And at one point, we were really hoping was going to be available at 27 for the Baltimore Ravens,
Probably
but that ain't happening. This maybe feels like a couple picks early, but with the 15th pick, Nick Emanwari from South Carolina goes to the Atlanta Falcons.
My favorite player in the draft.
I get it.
By far.
I get it.
Regardless of position. My favorite player in this draft.
If I'm the Cardinals, I think they're probably zoning in on Zabel here, or I mean, I think there's a good chance, and maybe it is, but I feel like that's where the Cardinals. But I also think that there's a chance that Will Johnson's pretty good. I think Jahdae Barron could end up being the best corner in this class. So I'm not going to let him go any further. Jahdae Barron to the Arizona Cardinals at 16.
Cornerback out of Texas. Correct. Ken Zalis, your reaction to the last two picks?
I mean, obviously, your pick I absolutely love because I think he's maybe one of the top 5 players in this draft. Just a cookie cutter. Who did you select?
Barron.
Jahdae Barron from Texas.
Yeah, a little early for me. I'm going Simmons there. Again, everybody puts all their eggs into these quarterbacks, and then they don't protect them, and they wonder why they get hurt and why they're running for their lives. And then you got a guy sitting there that could help your offensive line and therefore help your run game and help your quarterback. And you just signed a stud. You took a stud wide receiver who needs some time to get downfield. I got to take the offensive lineman there, but. Again, you look at Cincinnati coming up, and what the hell are they doing?
Sure.
Everybody accuses all the NFL.
They're just hoping to sore 100 points a game some way.
You couldn't stop anybody last year.
Right.
You've given Hendrickson permission to seek a trade. When people say the cap is a myth, they look at the Cincinnati Bengals like, where are you coming up with this money? We're taking the best defensive player available. And a lot of people would argue with me now and say, well, Stort's the best player available. I can't take a Stort. I need somebody that's helping me now. And it doesn't matter what position they play. And I'm looking at Georgia, and would I rather have the linebacker, or would I rather have the safety?
Walker, Malachi Starks.
Flip a coin for me. I guess I'm going to take Walker because
Right.
You're closer to the ball. I don't know, but I don't think you could go wrong either way. But if they take an offensive player in this draft outside of maybe an offensive guard somewhere along the lines, their GM has to have their head examined. So there it is for me. I would have loved the kid out of South Carolina to be there because then he's a no-brainer. But it's you got to take defense there if you're Cincinnati.
I don't know. Seattle, I'm starting to worry, is turning into a money laundering scheme. I feel bad for our guy Mike McDonald because I have no idea how you are nowhere close to being capable. I mean, like you're close to being competitive-ish, but you are nowhere in the neighborhood, even in the vicinity of being really competitive. Somebody would say since they got Cooper Kupp, that takes wide receiver off the table, but what are they doing in the 10 games where Cooper Kupp isn't playing? And I don't really know what Cooper Kupp is, even if he plays.
I don't know what he is.
Yeah, that's the problem.
I mean,
so
yeah.
I think like Sam Darnold needed Justin Jefferson and Jordan Addison to be good. I think you have to keep giving him wide receivers. The problem is this isn't a strong wide receiver draft. So I'm going to take Matthew Golden out of Texas here for Seattle, but I don't feel great about it. It just, to me, piles into the purgatory that you're in Seattle. I don't think there is a bigger purgatorial situation in the NFL than the Seattle Seahawks, where what are you? Like, what is the path here? What is the plan? How are you becoming a good football team? I don't see it, but try to give this dude every opportunity to be as close as he was, where he was at least productive in Minnesota. Give him another receiver. Matthew Golden is the pick.
I will go for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. I think they also have to go defense here. So I think you're looking at. Oh, you just took Jalen Walker. I was eyeing Jalen Walker.
Yeah, he's gone.
Mike Green, I guess, then is who Tampa's starting to eye up. Jihad.
Speaking about guys at the beginning of the draft process who are like maybe they're in play for the Ravens. Everybody's got Mike Green now in the top 15. It's like he's not even falling to this place anymore.
How versatile is Malachi Starks, KZ?
Very. Second best safety in the draft.
I mean, they don't necessarily need a safety. Tampa
and a lot of people will tell you he's the best safety in the draft. I disagree, but good player.
You know what? I'm going to take Malachi Starks over Mike Green and Jihad Campbell. Malachi Starks to Tampa.
Thoughts on the last two picks?
Like the Starks pick. I don't like the Golden pick. The reason I don't like the Golden pick is because they brought in an offensive coordinator that is going to run the heck out of the ball. He's turned every running back he's ever dealt with. They have 2 stud running backs. I'm giving Mike McDonald a toy, and I'm giving him Stort there. I'm giving him Stort there. I'm not the biggest fan of the kid. I think he gets developed. But if I'm going to go,
I just think you just invested money in Sam Darnold. You have to.
I'm with you. I understand that, but you're also going to take a lot of pressure off him by running the ball. Sam Darnold is not going to throw the ball like he did in Minnesota. Sam Darnold's going to throw 25 times max a game. Golden is a speedster who I don't know helps you right away. Is he worthy? I mean, we like the little splash plays from Worthy, but we didn't like what he bring. He didn't make that offense better. I don't know that Golden makes the offense better.
But Smith and Jigba is going to be your outside,
I understand it. I understand it. So what you're telling me is they don't have zero to work with there. Mm-hmm. They have some things. I'm going to give him a toy. I'm going to give the defensive genius a toy. I'm again, tomato. I get the need. Not the best player on the board at that point. And I'm going to continue to build with my defensive guru and give him another toy.
Go ahead.
Is it me?
Yes.
Who's picking?
Denver Broncos.
Well, they got their quarterback. A lot of people weren't sure.
We think they have their quarterback.
We think they have their quarterback. Golden may have been a guy here. I would have maybe gone.
Because I'm still very underwhelmed by their skill positions in general.
In general, I like the Ohio State kid, Egbuka.
Emeka Egbuka, yeah.
A lot more than scouts do. I don't know that I'm there with him right now. Defensively, they could use some things, but if I'm building, I'm going to continue building like I want to. I'm going to give him a weapon, and I'm going to give him a weapon that is a little early here, but not too early. He's somewhere. And I'm going to go Colston Loveland.
I like this.
And I'm going to give my young quarterback a young, versatile tight end to deal with that he really hasn't had.
Joe Ortiz just punched the wall.
And I'm going to go Loveland here.
They just brought in, obviously, Evan Ingram this offseason, but to the point, how many games is he playing?
How many games is he playing? Yep. He's 34.
Yep.
Love the production that he had in Jacksonville for 2 years.
No, I'm with this.
But I'm giving this kid. I can now go 2 tight end sets here.
I did an exercise like this recently where I made all the picks, and this was the pick that I made for the Broncos. Was Colston Loveland.
So isn't it fair? You get the Steelers and the Ravens.
Oh, I do get the Steelers at 21
good for
here.
you.
So this is a test.
What quarterback are they
selecting? This is the test. Well, you say that.
Right.
I have said for like at this point, if I'm the Pittsburgh Steelers, I'm taking Jackson Dart at 21. I have said that 15 times. To the point, the other player that would be in play to me would be Omarion Hampton from North Carolina. Like that would to me be the two. I am between the. Tell me I don't care how early you think this is for Jackson Dart. You don't have a quarterback. You haven't had a quarterback. You have to find a quarterback at some point and figure out if he's the guy.
What about this Louisville kid, Tyler Show? Everybody loves him.
At 21, I would
get your guy. Come on, that's what Kenny Pickett 2 years ago.
It's nuts to take Dart here, but it's the only guy that I'd consider at 21. To the point, I would be dishonest with the way that I have been discussing this. I have said over and over again to my Steelers fan friends that you did this. This to me is the Orioles pitching thing, right? Like, you can say, well, we don't want to pay Kobe Mayo for 1 year of Dylan Cease. Right, but you were the ones that decided you didn't need to go spend money on pitching. Like, the answer can't be you don't have pitching. You can't say Jackson Dart isn't worthy of the 21st pick. Fine. Somebody has to play quarterback.
Oh. I'm sure Aaron Rodgers will be welcome in that locker room. Have you seen all the quotes on this dude from the current Steelers? Newsflash.
If they were desperate, would you go Dart or would you go Milroe? I'm taking Dart, by the way.
I mean, let's put it this way. Dart. If I have to start one of them tomorrow, it's Dart.
That's where I am.
Neither one of these dudes are worth a first-round pick.
I'm quite aware of that.
But this is what happens. This is what happens in the draft.
Yes.
And because we're not this exercise, we can't move down. You got to take your guy. He's not going to be there with your second-round pick. So I'm not mad about it.
It's nuts. It's nuts for Jackson Dart to be the 21st pick in the NFL draft.
Nuts.
But it's nuts to not have a quarterback.
They don't have a quarterback.
It's insane.
Right now, their starting quarterback is
Mason Rudolph.
Mason Rudolph, who they ran out of town.
Took him to the playoffs, didn't he?
Sure.
Yeah.
Was he actually for the whole season?
No.
I was going to say.
He started a playoff game, right? Though?
Yeah. I think he might have started the playoff game, but I don't think he took.
I don't think because they had to bench Kenny.
Yeah,
Kenny.
Pickett. Yeah.
Well, Kenny Two Gloves.
Look, man, I have no interest in taking Jackson Dart.
Is that your pick?
That's my pick. Okay. I have no interest in it, but I have to have a quarterback.
I'm not. Look, it's their biggest need.
By a billion.
Their second biggest need is running back.
And is Omarion Hampton really worthy of the 21st pick either?
He's pretty good.
I don't disagree that he's good.
He's pretty good.
Is he worthy of the 21st pick?
No.
But
neither one are, so I'm taking the quarterback.
I'm reaching for a quarterback.
Yeah. I get it there. The only other thing I could sort of do there is I could probably, if you're the Steelers, it would be the most Steeler thing ever to take Harmon out of Oregon, defensive tackle. You're aging there. You know, Cam Hayward's
not going to. He might play till he's 100.
Yeah,
he's a freak,
he might. He's really good. But,
yeah, right.
But how old's that dude? 37? I don't know.
Yeah.
But it would be a Steeler thing to do that and piss off the fan base. But, you know, hey.
Yeah, with the Chargers, I was definitely eyeing up Colston Loveland here.
Yes, you were.
And since he is no longer
we got 10
there,
minutes. We got a lot of picks to make.
We got like 10 picks left. We got you know, they probably could still use another receiver. I don't know how much there's you know, counting Mike Williams as an answer at wide receiver. I like Igbuka, but I think Bosa just left, so we'll go Mike Green here for the LA Chargers.
Mike Green. Thoughts on? I guess you already gave your thoughts on Dart. So,
I mean, again, I don't like Dart.
Right.
Okay. I don't.
How do you like Mason Rudolph?
I hate Mason Rudolph. I mean, if truly I don't. Let's put it this way. I don't. If this is the way, it's Mason Rudolph and a rookie. Okay. In my heart of hearts, I'm not going to win with Dart. I'm not going to win with Milrose. So I'm starting Mason Rudolph. I'm probably going to take the upside guy if I have to take
Just
a quarterback.
Take a project, take Milroe because he's a project.
Again, it's a
All right.
ridiculous pick.
All right.
I'm sorry. You asked.
Well, I know, but now give me a thought on Green, quick.
I love Green.
Yeah.
I'm not taking him over James Pierce out of Tennessee.
Okay.
But I do love Green.
Okay.
I think he's a borderline first round guy.
It's so interesting that you love James Pierce because the Green Bay Packers are up at 23.
They are. And what I really want to do with the Green Bay Packers, I can't do because I want to give them a corner.
Is it Ravel? I mean, like
A Kentucky kid, I think.
Do I like Ravel enough
Mm-hmm.
to take him above some guys that I have ranked much higher? 22 is enough of a fall. The kid's going to go in the first round.
Jamar Stewart.
I'm going to take Stewart here,
Okay.
and my hope is I understand how GMs look at this. I'm going to get him in our program. He's an athletic freak. I can get him doing what I need him to do. He's not falling past this. It's too long. Stewart's the pick.
This really, again, leaves the Vikings in a rough spot because similarly, I would say secondary is the area where I'm looking for the Vikings. Did they end up being in play for Gray Zabel? Like,
Harrison Smith's coming back, right?
Yeah, but how old is
I know
Harrison
he's a
Smith?
million years old, but
He's like 36.
Yeah,
I was curious.
I don't think I can count on that.
year 14.
I really don't know. The Vikings. Ugh. So everything surrounds. Does J.J. McCarthy become an NFL quarterback now? So I think with that,
the answer is he's going to have to.
well, he's going to have to. And
Aaron
that's what I'm
Rodgers
saying.
is still out there.
Right, I understand that. Well, they said they're not doing that apparently.
They said that specifically,
That's
or they just said
specifically.
we're planning with.
Let's put it this
we're
way.
planning to use JJ.
The head coach does not want him.
With
Aaron
that
Rodgers
in mind, if I'm trying to improve my chances of J.J. McCarthy becoming a quality NFL quarterback, I am looking offensive line. And
Pretty good one available.
well, I'm between. So what's the Simmons injury story? Is
He's okay. I mean,
I think I'm going Gray Zabel here is the point. I think I'm going Gray Zabel.
he had the surgery. Okay, I'm not upset with that.
Mhm. Who would you have taken there?
I'm taking Simmons. I
yeah.
mean, the knee surgery was long
Okay.
was long enough ago. I like Zabel. I like him a lot.
I like Zabel a lot too.
I like him a lot.
Yeah.
So I'm not gonna.
I guess my question would be:
it's
do they feel more confident about because Darisaul's on the left,
Yes.
right? And I think you're pretty confident there.
yeah,
I don't remember who their right tackle is.
exactly.
Yeah.
Again, there's not. Zabel's a terrific prospect. He's going in the first round.
They list Zabel as a tackle for what it's worth. I don't know.
Well, the belief is that he could play any.
He
Right,
can
right,
play. He
right.
can
But-
play either. He can play either. You could look at 10 of these, and 5 have him as a guard, and 5 have him as a tackle, and that's fine. I will never, as you can probably tell over the years, I'll never beat up an offensive line pick. they play in whether he's a tackle or guard. He's in the league for 10 years without unless it's an injury.
Yep.
So I'm that's fine. Yep. It's a very solid pick.
You de facto make the pick for the Texans then, so Josh Simmons will be going
the
into the Houston Texans.
Makes all the sense in the world.
All the sense in the world. So Simmons is the pick there.
Mm-hmm. And the
I'm just looking at your clock. Do you need to take a break at any point?
No, we can. We have no rules here. Ken.
I know you have no rules, but sometimes
remind everybody the County Sports Zone is where you find everything related to the high school sports. As we have shifted into the spring, baseball, softball, lacrosse. I think Spalding Bullis is this week.
Waiting for my feature in that.
Well, you got it. You can look at me all you want. That's not my area.
He's listed to the show, I assume.
Oh, okay. CountySports.zone. Proudly sponsored by your local Toyota dealer. Buy a Toyota.com.
By the way, he's not listed to the show. There's no
he's got a meeting
whatsoever.
or something. Yeah, he's got something going on over there. I never know what he's doing in there. Mom, the meatloaf. Go ahead.
So we're one away.
Yes.
From the Baltimore Ravens, and there's a lot of good players there. But before we get there, the L.A. Rams, the new look L.A. Rams.
Yes.
Cooper Kupp gone.
It's still the same quarterback.
Same coach.
Yes.
Same coach. They need defense.
They do. I agree.
Best player on the board just happens to be a defensive player.
Seems like a logical choice here.
James Pierce.
Putting him and Jared Verse together. Right one pick before. And that's the guy that I wanted, to be sure. That's the guy that I wanted.
So now.
Yep. It brings us to the Baltimore Ravens at 27. So here's what I'll do. I'll let you, the two of you, tell me what you would do here, and then I'll tell you what we are doing.
So you're the GM. So tell us before we tell you what we would do. Tell us what your top 5 needs are. Maybe 3 if you only want to.
So it's top need in general is secondary. It's in general, right? Like you want to say if you want to make them 2 different ones and say safety and cornerback, fine. But it's in general. The biggest need this team has at this moment is more in the secondary. The second biggest need is probably at guard. But they might still be a huge believer in Andrew Voorhees. They might really say, we are confident that Andrew Voorhees is the guy. The biggest desire for this team remains finding an impactful edge rusher, a guy that can be a 10-year difference maker. So I'm measuring all those things. And if you want to throw inside linebacker there too now and say, I still think they believe that Trenton Simpson is a football player, but
did not work out last year.
Yeah, it didn't. So I have no problem. Like if somebody wanted to point out that like Campbell from Alabama is available here, I'm not going to have an issue with that being in the conversation at this point. I would say this draft has not gone well for the Baltimore Ravens. Like if somehow a Malachi Starks was sitting there, you dart up. If somehow, even if it was Pierce, I would be fine with like saying I think Pierce is an impactful edge rusher that could be a game changer. Go get him. But I don't think this draft has worked well for the Baltimore Ravens. I don't think the guys are sitting there that you were hoping were going to be sitting there. So I will.
We got 3 teams to offer in trades. We want to.
No, we don't. No, we don't. Griffin, if you were in this position, you would be picking.
I don't know. Like none of these guys scream, "Oh yeah, that's this is game changer." I mean, they very well could be, obviously, but none of them are guys that the James Pierces that I do like James Pierce as well. I like the Aman Worry, obviously. I think you go defensive front, like edge or D line here, just because there's not a corner screaming at. There's no defensive back screaming at you. There's no offensive line that's screaming at you. So probably the Boston College kid or Daniel Jeremiah had the Oregon kid.
God,
I'll go. Let's go with the Toledo kid, Darius Alexander.
Go ahead, Ken Zalis. You would be doing what?
Who did you select?
Darius Alexander, the Toledo D lineman. Big year for the Rockets.
So, what do the Baltimore Ravens truly think of their cornerback room right now?
Well, I think they think they have something in Nate Wiggins, and
I think they do.
I think they have something in Nate Wiggins, and I think that Marlon Humphrey continues to perform at an admirable enough level that you still believe that he is a guy for now.
So you think you got 2?
Yes, correct.
think you need more than 2.
I don't disagree with that.
My problem here
You don't love Ravel. You don't love Maxwell Hairston.
My problem is that when I look at the top corners, you got the kid Harrison out of Kentucky. You got Morrison out of Notre Dame. You got Amos out of Ole Miss. And the one that most scouts have as the top one is Ravel out of East Carolina. Small school, as far as who they play, coming off a really bad injury. I can't take injured guys here. I if I'm going corner here, I need a guy that I think can be similar to Wiggins coming in and giving me nickel to starter reps.
Yep.
That guy's not on the board for me.
I agree with that.
So then I'm left with 2 guys that I probably have somewhere near the top 20 of my board in a traditional Ravens thought process.
Just get to the point where they take the defensive tackle. Just do it.
And that's the kid Campbell out of Alabama, which we know how much they love Alabama. Somebody just retired if you're the Baltimore Ravens, who we all really like.
I love them.
And Derek Harmon, if I'm the Baltimore Ravens, and everybody...
I hate it so much.
And everybody in town will hate this pick. Yep. But this is a good football player, and he's probably a top 20 kid. And, they're going to say, what does he really do? And, he had a great year. And he's played Division I top-level football. It's not one of these kids that transferred from, South Carolina State and played one good year. He went from Michigan State to Oregon. I'm taking Harmon here.
The pick is Derek Harmon.
That's who the pick
is. Is Shamar Turner too much of a reach here?
Yes.
Yes.
The pick is Derek Harmon. Ken's points are I hate it.
I hate it. I hate it. It's the most Ravens pick ever.
But the way the draft played out, that's who the pick is. I agree with everything that Ken just said. That's the pick. And I want it to be I want to like Scourton more than I do.
Can you clip that?
I want to like Ezeraku more than I do. I want to like any of those guys more than I do. I just don't love them in a way that they're game changing to me that I have to pick them versus an absolute, to me, certified. This is a guy. You have lots of needs. I would rather you be addressing your needs. This to me isn't a need, but he's the pick. Derek Harmon's the pick at 27. All right, quickly, just super quickly.
Let's see.
Doesn't matter anymore.
We're here. Let's go with Egbuka. Pretty fun guy for
Mecca Egbuka goes to the Lions. 28. Ken.
Nick Scourton. Scourton.
You just said it. I thought you just said it right.
Yeah. It's the edge from Texas A&M.
Yeah, it's from Texas A&M. I mean, they have to replace, the voids that they lost in free agency.
The Bills take Ravel out of East Carolina.
Makes sense.
The Bills take Ravel. Oh, shoot, I gotta find. There's Ravel. And then I am the Kansas City Chiefs, and we. I guess we'll go Luther Burden. We don't know what's going on in our wide receiver room. We'll go Luther Burden.
And how many more of them could be arrested before the season begins? And then the final pick of the first round, KZ to the Eagles.
The final pick of the first round, we will take Tyreek Williams,
defensive
tackle out of Ohio State.
There you go. That is our first round in this draft. It is official that we will put that up. We will share the results on social, and we'll post the audio as well. That is our first round. Derek Harmon ends up being the pick for the Baltimore Ravens at 27, and I hate it. I couldn't hate it anymore. But it's the pick they had to make. They had to make that pick in that spot. We'll see after we wrap up with Mike Pereira if we have a minute to do a Ravens mock draft as well, and at least get some thoughts, because I have played that game quite a few times on the simulators so far this season. But there's our pick.
I have to say, well done.
Yeah, right? I mean,
it was pretty well done.
It's a fine draft.
I mean, outside of Griff not having any freaking clue what the draft is about, this was really good.
You're telling me the Jets aren't going to take Ted McMillan at 6? If that is the way it feels.
First of all, they pick at 7, so they won't take it.
Probably won't do that.
Tomato.
I can guarantee you they won't.
It seems very silly.
I could guarantee you they won't.
All right, that was fun. Now,
we should do this every day until the draft.
I don't know if I can do it every day.
One of the things that's definitely wrong with this country is that this dude still has a job somehow, some way. Glenn Clark.
Apparently 25 million people in Japan watch the Cubs-Dodgers games this week. So I hear it's good. It was reported as more than any game in the World Series.
Really?
Here in America. Like, more people in Japan watch these games than people in America watch any game of the World Series, which is wild. So I know you're trying to set this up, but I'm realizing
You can't really see, can you?
well, I think it's more important because Ken's going to do the bulk of the work.
Gotcha.
Yeah, I don't know how this is going to work.
Ken, are you able to?
So what are we doing here?
Yeah, we're setting
Trying to
up
do
a
a Ravens.
7-round mock draft.
Yeah.
But we
Okay.
can't all do the same. Like, if you try to do it, the picks for the other teams would be different than what it is on the screen.
Well,
So you're going to have to monitor what people are seeing.
oh, you're doing it that way?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
we're just going to have to look up there and see what's available and what isn't available.
Okay. So I'll get
7-round mock draft. Let's try to do it. Let's try to fly through it. See what KZ would do. We're just picking for the Ravens.
All right. Simulating to the 27th pick.
All
Let's
right.
see. Golden went right before. Kelvin Banks. Omarion Hampton to the
They say Malachi Starks. Yeah, that
Yeah,
seems
yeah.
like we don't have to go too far, do
James
we?
Pierce.
Yeah.
Malachi Starks.
Hold on. Just click on.
You want to see what other safeties and DBs are out there?
Let me just see.
Yeah, cornerbacks. So right now, as this is played out,
Just safeties.
Okay.
the Manworry's off the board. Is
Yeah,
what we're trying
Manworry's
to
off
find
the
out.
board.
Yeah, okay, done. Starks.
Okay.
Where did
okay.
Manworry go?
I'm trying to find. He went 14 to the Colts.
Yeah. I just looking at one person. I'm not going to say who it is, but they have him as a top 5 player in the draft.
I get it. I understand.
Like,
I understand.
I
But you're taking Malachi Starks.
Yes.
If he's on the board at 27.
yes.
Who all would you take ahead of Malachi? Who are guys that could be at 27?
So, couple of
Would you
Simmons-
take if Mike Green fell?
No.
You'd still take
No,
Malachi
yeah,
Starks.
yeah. Starks to me is a top 20 guy in the draft. I look at guys like even Simmons could be there. The tackle.
Mhm.
I may consider that. Like we did with Harmon. Harmon would be there. Things like that.
Griffin thinks I'm trying to put this on the screen. No, I'm trying to get the basketball.
No, I know you are,
Yeah.
but I know you're trying to also
Yeah.
talk to have a
That's
full
fine.
conversation
Yeah.
with Ken. So I was
Got
gonna.
it.
So I just there are guys that could we have somebody that always likes to fall to the Ravens. Pierce may be a guy that
Well, Pierce was on the board here.
I said
you
may.
took Starks
I said,
over Pierce.
You said.
No, I'm saying who would you take over Starks if they were available?
I mean, Pierce may be a guy, but
you just had the chance to do that. You didn't
I
do
said
it.
maybe. No, I wouldn't, but maybe.
Pierce went 2 picks later to the Commanders for what it's worth. Colston Loveland was the very next pick after the Ravens.
All right, so we're into the second round.
And I like a guy listed 3rd on the list here.
Griffin really wants him to take Cam Scadaboo.
Me
who's
and
available
Femi
at
are on
this
Team
point.
Scadaboo.
Ken, you got to look at the screen to see who's available.
I am, but
Jack Sawyer is available.
Jack
He didn't
Sawyer,
get an edge rusher in round 1.
Shamar Turner is available. This is just again PFFs. What position?
This might be the last round that I could use my veto, depending on what Ken does, because
What
I'm
position
not
you want,
sure
Ken?
how many people I'm. Yeah, what do you want to see?
No, just get.
Just keep
Yeah.
scrolling.
No, right there.
We're,
Stop.
we're not doing it.
Just stop.
This is the Ravens' second round pick that we're drafting at the moment.
I love Scadaboo, but I can't take it.
Oh, come on.
I can't.
I like Scadaboo too, but I'm
Give me Sawyer.
Sawyer. All right.
not
Interesting.
using my veto. I would have used my veto perhaps, but I also would love Sawyer here. Sawyer here, I would love.
I just want to see what other edges were there. Ivy, Kennard, Stewart from Michigan. All right, yeah. All right, Jack Sawyer, the second round
Of course,
pick.
what was that, the semifinal that he was the hero of?
Yes.
In college football player?
Yes.
So we've made 2 picks.
Yeah, the picks
so
against
far,
Texas.
Malachi Starks and Jack Sawyer, and I would say I don't care now. This draft has gone well. I am happy with this draft at this point.
I want to see if Harold Fannon's still here for our 3rd round pick. Harold Fannon's still there.
Okay, can you get that off of there? We're not taking tight end.
Why not?
Ken
It's
doesn't
Harold
want a tight
Fannin.
end in
It's
the
Harold
third round.
Fannin.
Remember, Griffin does still have a veto. We did say both of us have a
Ooh.
veto here.
Darn.
We do still need cornerback help. That is one of the problems that
Go
we
down,
have.
just
We
go down a little bit.
they still could use a cornerback, could still use some interior offensive line as we get to. What is the Ravens pick in the 3rd round? What number pick? is this?
91.
91, the 91st pick in the draft. Is where we
Go
are.
Back up. Go back up.
Mm-hmm.
Do you want to go position by position or?
No.
Okay. Based on how we built this, and I would love a corner.
Mm-hmm.
There's not one here that I'm really.
We've gone defense with the first 2 picks.
We've gone defense with the first 2 picks.
Ooh, Jordan Phillips went 3 picks before.
He's a freak.
Yeah, I'm gonna go the Arizona tackle. Jonah, don't ask me to say his last name.
Okay, Jonah, don't ask me to say his last name is the pick.
The Arizona
I see it right there.
tackle, and I have a veto, is what you're saying?
We both have vetoes, yes.
I mean, come on, Harold Fannin he's gonna be a stud. I like Harold
Try to talk
Fannin.
Griffin out of Harold Fannin.
Yeah, talk me
Why
out of
do you
Harold
not like
Fannin.
Harold Fannin?
I love Harold Fannin.
Is it just because you think the Ravens don't need a tight end, or
Well,
I mean, we
they
don't.
did-
I guess
they
this
did-
year we don't.
It looks
but
like they're not. It looks like
this
they're
year-
not trading Mark Andrews.
They
right?
they have 3
I
that they really like. There are other needs on this team, including
But
offensive
Griffin's
line.
going to point out none of those tight ends are on are under contract
that's
after
true.
this year.
Exactly.
Have you seen what the Ravens are doing right now? They're kind of going all in here.
Uh,
They're kind of pushing the chips a little bit. I think you need an offensive tackle. I think you don't, or guard. You need some more depth on the offensive line here. You don't have a rainy day problem solution right now.
All right, I'm vetoing for Ty Felton next pick then. So which one do you want me to veto? But you tell me which
You
one.
don't know who's on the board yet.
Ty Felton. All right,
You don't-
well,
yeah,
if
that's a
Ty
good
Felton's
point,
not
right.
there, then I guess I can't. But all right, fine.
Are you
I'll hold my
vetoing this?
veto.
I'm not vetoing this.
Oh, okay.
All right,
I-
Jonah, that guy from
That guy.
Arizona.
Try to pronounce it.
Yeah, go ahead.
Man from Salamanca. Yes, that's correct.
Sure.
Savinaya.
There you go.
Savinaya.
Nailed it. All right.
Perfect.
Now into the. Are we in the 4th round?
Yes,
now?
129.
Okay. See what's available. Dylan Gabriel's available. Take Dylan Gabriel, right? You could do that.
Steelers took Riley Leonard apparently.
Keep going down.
That's going to be their answer.
Yeah.
The quarterback is Riley Leonard.
Keep going. Keep going.
Ken?
Keep going.
Quinn Ewers available. Oh, there's the everybody likes Oladejo from UCLA.
They do. Okay.
Well, why is he down there?
I don't know.
Okay. Go back up.
Mm-hmm.
Give me. So.
Right.
So
Let me see what receivers are available.
we're gonna go Zy Alexander here, the cornerback.
Okay.
Nick Nash is available.
Tell me about Zy Alexander.
You know, he good size. I believe 6. Go pull him up. Was he 6 feet?
Okay.
6 feet 185. If I
6'2",
I like that. That's
194.
definitely I like the
6'2",
size, no
194.
doubt.
okay, so good size. Sticky type kid. You know, we're talking 4th round. I mean, we're looking for depth.
Mm-hmm.
He's a guy that, you know, you look at the history of the Ravens draft. They like their corners somewhere around the 3rd, 4th round. Kid could come in, probably be your nickel right away.
Brandon, well, okay, if he's playing nickel, I guess different. But Tavon Young, then is that like a?
It's not bad.
Tavon Young was not 6'2" by any. He wasn't anywhere
true.
near
That's true.
6'2".
You know.
Yeah.
So I you know, it's again, I know the Ravens tend to, you know, a little bit best player available, but this person's within 5-6 range of where we're picking here in the 4th round. I think their next pick is 136.
Yeah, 7 picks later, so board
7
stays
picks-
relatively
7
the same
picks
here.
later. So it's the board's going to be the same. Give
Is-
me the
This is the problem. We have 4 picks in the 200s coming up.
We're
as well.
past a place where I can use a.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just let him make the
Keep
picks
going.
now. Just let him make the picks the rest of the way because I'm not going to be able to help you
Ooh.
unless there's a Maryland guy on the board. I got nothing.
Caden Prather and Ty Felton are both still available.
There we got that going for us. Look, at some point I'm going to like Ty Felton. There's no doubt, but I can't compare him to any of these other guys. Mm-hmm.
Go back up.
Pat Bryant, I do like him.
Yeah, I do like him, but it's again.
Just pick somebody,
I'm gonna
please.
I'm going to take and then we're going to double up on edge. We can never have enough edges. The kid out of UCLA.
Go ahead, try it.
No.
Yep. Oladejo.
Sure.
Olu Oladejo, I think
That's
is
what we
we're
got.
calling him.
That's what we got. All right.
And
next.
now, where are we now? Are we in the 7th round, 6th
The
round?
5th round, 176.
I mean, we're just
Quinn Ewers
You
is
just wanna
still
call
there.
You just want to call it.
no.
Do
Do we
Because
stop the Quinn Ewers free fall?
The basketball's about to start.
No, we're good. We're good. Okay, so I'm going to tell you.
Be good. I'm not.
tell you right now is okay. Just find if any of these three guys are on the board. Okay, Nick Nash,
I hope so.
San Jose State.
Oh no, someone took him.
Okay, one more.
I do like him as well.
Okay, one more.
Nick Nash went like 10 picks earlier to the Texans.
Simeon Barrow from Miami.
How do you spell Barrow?
Barrow. It's one of the.
It looks like he's gone. Yeah.
Okay.
This is the exercise that I thought it would be at this point.
Yeah, I mean it is.
Oh, Tyler Show. I'm just saying names of guys I recognize.
Right.
Not a terrible pick here. He's going to go.
Oh, Curtis Rourke.
He's going to go much sooner than this. He stinks.
Just take.
Go up.
CFL future.
Go up.
Emory Jones from LSU.
Nope.
I make this abundantly clear. March Madness app and CBS. You need to fix it so that CBS games can be watched through the app. You dolts.
Give me the. See, now we can take a tight end. Give me the Nebraska tight end.
All right, sure. Whoever that is.
Thomas Fido.
Yeah, love him.
Harold Fan would have been better.
Settle down.
He's 6'4", 241.
So we got Jonah S instead of Harold Fannin, and we could have got Emory Jones here at this pick.
Could have.
You are obsessed with taking a quarterback.
No tight end.
Oh, sure.
Okay.
But that one. I also like Terrence Ferguson for what it's worth in that third round.
Is he a basketball player?
He's also is a tight end for Oregon. Was.
Give me the running backs.
I don't know who these people
We're taking
are.
a running back at 6th round when we could have had Scadaboo in the second.
You lost me the moment.
We should have used our vetoes, Glenn.
Whatever.
I don't like any of these tailbacks.
I like
Todd Brooks, maybe. I don't know.
I don't know.
I don't
Jack
like
Nelson
any.
available from Wisconsin, offensive tackle.
Let's find out.
We can
Yes,
stuff.
Jack Nelson's out there.
Jack Nelson is my guy.
Good, take him.
He's your guy.
Just
Six-
keep
What?
picking.
He's
Just keep picking somebody. I don't care.
6'7", 314.
God, we have 4 picks left. Oh yeah.
flying
The Ravens
all
have
over
too
right
many
now.
picks. We should have done a trade to
I
just get rid
agree.
of half of these, so we had a second, third round pick.
Can we just take best available now and just move on?
Hold on.
Brady Cook's out there.
God.
So many
There was
quarterbacks.
a basketball game on, and we still have to do the Brian Powell thing.
Akil Arnold.
Cam Miller.
Caden
No,
Prather.
I'm kidding. Devin Neal, Kansas.
Devin Neal? Really? I love Devin Neal.
Looks like he is off the board.
Come on. It was like
This guy is. Do you want to stop the free fall for this guy, Vernon Broughton from Texas, D-line?
no.
Okay.
My battery's running low. I have to make a pick.
Caden Prather. Did we take a receiver yet?
All right, Caden Prather at 203.
So
Caden
he's
Prather?
ours. Yes.
Who's he?
Son of a
Then let's double up and go Ty Felton and then.
Oh, Ty Felton was still available?
Oh wait, no, he wasn't.
I was
No,
gonna
he wasn't.
say.
He wasn't.
Hold on. I'm gonna give you my sleeper pick of all.
They have him. They have Prather. PFF has Prather ranked like slightly ahead of.
Hold on.
Oh, Jimmy Horn, the other Colorado guy, wide receiver.
Hold on.
For God's sake.
Is the cornerback from Bowling Green available? Jordan Oladokun.
Aludikin? I don't think so. Nope, he's not there.
Okay. I'm done.
Done. Good. Just
Florida corner?
You make a pick.
We'll go Florida
Just
corner.
pick
Jason
somebody.
Marshall. Jason Marshall
Great.
Jr. Oh, and then we got another pick, 2 picks later. All right, I'm taking the Broughton guy. This Texas guy can't be that bad if he's a top 100.
I mean, we're
prospect
talking
and
about
he's
the
down to the
7th round
200s.
here. We're literally throwing.
Oh,
it.
Graham Mertz.
There's a basketball game being played, please.
Well, we got one pick. We got to make our final pick
Oh
here.
my God!
I don't care.
Creighton's winning.
I can't wait till I get from the app.
Kyron Lacey. I'm thinking Kyron Lacey.
The-
Kyron Lacey, wide receiver
The
from
app
LSU.
is about to send me a close game alert. I'm
Are-
so excited. The first close game
All right,
alert.
here, what do you want?
of the
What do you think
year.
our grade is? Here, what do you think our grade is?
Our grade's a B+.
B minus.
All right, let's see. We got an A+ for Malachi Starks in the first round.
Yeah, we did.
A+ for the Vernon Broughton pick.
Yeah.
A.
Hey, look at
A
us.
even.
Look at us from PFF.
Top
All right,
18% of
quickly,
Ravens
Let's do this.
drafts.
Let's do this.